We don't wanna be enemies. I go man with me, I go wings. You gon' step in my ship, you gon' mess with the king.
Today, we're going to be talking about One Piece chapter 1081. Whoa! I can't believe we are almost to 1100. I feel like it was just yesterday we reached 1000, and now we're 1081. Whoa. And again, we don't touch base with the Straw Hat crew. We are still, checking in at Hachinosu, the pirate island, with Garp and Aokiji, or Kuzan, and Kobe, and the sword pirate, or Marines, the sword Marines, the secret unit, and they're there, and they're about to get the hell out of Dodge, but guess who shows up? Yeah! Kuzan! The guy I thought was on his way to Egghead Island. Now I'm all over the place. Like, who from the Blackbeard Pirates is on their way to Egghead Island? We do get to check in with Blackbeard at the end of this chapter as well, so I'm thinking it's not him either. It must be Lafitte. That's my first guess, because everyone else has done something as part of the Blackbeard Pirates except for him since we've gotten to the New World. So Lafitte would be a fun character to be headed to Egghead Island. I wonder what he would be up to. We still don't know what his actual devil fruit is. I know he can have wings of sorts that we saw at Impel Down. But yeah, Kuzan is on Hachinosu, on Pirate Island. He has shown up and he has frozen Kobe's future wife, Hibari. She is frozen solid in a time capsule, like most of the people that cross Aokiji's path. The question is Aokiji really part of the Blackbeard Pirates? It seems like it is. He's really sinking it in by attacking his former mentor, Garp, and going toe-to-toe with the Marines and trying to keep Kobe and probably trying to capture more of them. He even mentions it would be very bad if Blackbeard comes back and Kobe escapes. Kuzan, he's the 10th Titanic captain. Confirmed. He confronts Garp and he's like, what's gonna be? Are you going to protect your new prodigy against your old prodigy? Because I guess Kuzan was, the number one student of Garp at one point. I would love to see a little side story involving... I want to see Kuzan's backstory. I want it to be long. I want it to be like 10 full chapters where we get to see him going through the Marine Academy with Akainu and Kizaru in some aspect, working together, working under Garp, maybe include other characters like Tsuru, the one with the laundry devil fruit, if I remember correctly, and Sengoku, all of them. I want to see those Marines. I want to see the Marine backstory, and it can center around Kuzan. One of our most important Marines in the entire story is dueling right now with Garp. This is a fight for the century. This is the biggest fight since, I would say, since we left Wano. This duel here between them is the biggest battle, because we've had Law versus Blackbeard. We've had Lucci versus Luffy 2, which wasn't that great. It was fun, but it was short, and it didn't really do a lot for either character. But no big deal. But I would have to say this duel between Garp and Aokiji, Kuzan is a big deal. Kuzan might need to kill Garp. He might be teaming up with the other members of the Blackbeard Pirates. You see, he could easily, in my opinion, have to murder his mentor to prove his alignment with Blackbeard. They might just capture Garp, just like they've been doing, because Blackbeard's just on this capture spree. He's captured Pudding, he captured Kobe, he's attempting to capture Trafalgar Law at the end of this chapter. Oh my god! So they could take Garp instead of Kobe. Garp might even put himself up like, alright, how about you take me? If anybody's worth trading to the government to become an actual I don't know what they call it, an island affiliated with the government, so Blackbeard could be king of Pirate Island. Essentially the Pirate King. If that happens, Garp would be a better trading, barter with. You could barter with Garp as a trade for the government because he is the ultimate hero of the Marines, who, was a big part of taking down Goldie Roger, baby. So that would be a good deal. If Blackbeard was like, okay, or, if Blackbeard shows up during this duel and he makes a deal with Garp, he's like, all right, Z, ha, ha, ha. Your friends and Kobe, they can bounce. But you stay, and you be good, or else. I mean, I don't know if they let him go, and then Garp decides, I'll just kick your ass. Like, Garp is kind of a lethal weapon. He doesn't have a devil fruit ability, so you can't just throw some sea prism stone on him to stop him or weaken him. You'd really have to do some damage to put him down, like break a couple legs off, cut a couple legs off. I mean, Shiryu, he's still there. He can turn invisible. It would be sick as all heck if Shiryu tries to sneak up on Garp during his battle with Kuzan, and Garp, even though Shiryu's invisible, Garp knocks that boy out because he's able to sense him coming, or it's just an accident and Garp's like, I didn't even see you there, sorry there, kid. And I love how he calls everybody kid because he's older than everybody in the area, but all the more stronger. He even is disappointed with the amount of damage he's able to do when he lays the fist last chapter, and the other pirates are like, he's disappointed, look how much he is the One Punch Man of the One Piece universe. So, him and Kuzan have a little bit of a chat, and, Garp's talking about, like, hey, man, how about you just get back in Marine uniform, and we get the heck out of here. And we get a little bit of flashback of when Kuzan ran into Blackbeard. He took on the entire Blackbeard crew, freezing them solid. I'm not sure. I think they were all there. Blackbeard was, like, the only one that didn't get frozen. So at this point, I would say that Kuzan could be the strongest member of the Blackbeard Pirates. Even though he is the 10th Titanic captain, he is OG. He might be the strongest Logia fruit user currently active. I'd have to really think about that, but it feels like it. He's so strong, he could considerably be stronger than his own captain, in a way. He could possibly take him down in a one-on-one duel. They have a chit-chat with Kuzan at a bar. He frees the Blackbeard Pirates. They kind of talk about his battle at Punk Hazard with Kainu, and how he lost his leg, like we learned in Film Z. So if you haven't seen Film Z, they do reveal that that Kuzan lost his leg, and now he has to use his Ice Devil Fruit ability to grow a new one on a regular basis. Which is kind of cool that he has a Logia fruit that can do that. Like, it would be kind of weird if he was Ace without a leg. He'd be walking around with a fire leg instead of an ice leg that you can easily conceal. Fire leg would be a little different, or a lava leg would kind of suck, or a light leg would suck. The ice leg is probably the best. Maybe the wooden leg. Actually, the wooden leg would be better. If Green Bull had one leg and used his tree ability, his plant ability to grow a wooden leg, that would be cool as well. But I think, Aokiji, being the peg leg ice pirate, he talks to them. They chit-chat. They talk about how they're looking for the man with the burn scars, or they heard a rumor that he has one of the final poneglyphs, which the one we've been thinking was possibly Aokiji, possibly, what's his damn name from Ohara? Saul? Jaguar D. Saul. A lot of people assumed it was him, and it still could be him. But the way they talked about him, they talked about him as this like mysterious figure on a black ship, the Black Pearl, and he can create whirlpools. He's either a brand new character, or he is Jaguar D. Saul. He could secretly be Aokiji, but I don't think it is him. I don't think it is. He even jokes like, I have burn scars. And they're like, it's not you, because it must be someone from the past. It could be someone that was on the Rocks Pirates crew, or the Whitebeard crew. It could be somebody from Goldie Rogers' crew that we haven't met, like Scapper Caban, I can't remember his name. The dude with the axes and the glasses. It could be him. There's a lot of options out there. Somebody has this final poneglyph. And, you know, I heard some people talk about it being Arouge from the Arouge, that's how you say it, the final member of the worst generation that we haven't really had any time with to develop. The one who's from Skypiea or from the Sky Islands. He could possibly have the final poneglyph this whole time, and that could be his piece to the puzzle of this story. But that'd be kind of weird that he's had it this whole time and he's been introduced way back at Sabaody. I mean, I still think it might be Jaguar D. Saul, but at this point they're talking about like a ship and whirlpools and shit. Like it really could just be a brand new character. It could be Dragon, Monkey D. Dragon, or someone from the government that we just can't think of right now. If you know who the fucking man with the burn scar is, comment down below. Let me know your theory, because I'm racking my brain and I just can't think of anybody that no one else has. You know, I'd like to see some more, you know, contenders. Yeah, we get to see that. We get to see Blackbeard offer Kuzan an opportunity to join his crew, choose his own fate. They're not just some group of chum-chum pirates. They actually have their own goals. Blackbeard, you know, he wants to be king of the pirates. And Blackbeard seems to know a lot about devil fruits. Just like Sanji, Blackbeard studied devil fruits for a long period of time. That's how he realized he needed the darkness fruit. He has studied all of them. He went through them all. I am assuming this. I am assuming he did this, because why was he so dead set on waiting until he could get that devil fruit before he decided to turn on the Whitebeard pirates? It's because he knew that devil fruit was OP as shiz. It was the best. One of the best. The one he knew he could manipulate and make himself king of the pirates with. Because later in this chapter, he talks about Trafalgar Law's devil fruit, and knows it's worth money, and knows he can get immortality from it, and knows it's worth a lot, basically. He knows a lot about it because he studied the devil fruit. He probably had that one in his mind as well. He might have had like 1 or 5 different types of devil fruits that he would be like, that's the one for me. And that might have been one of them on his radar. Like, if I get the Opie Opie no Mi, I could do something really cool with that. But he also knows it's kind of useless if you want the immortality effect. You need to find a doctor who's willing to do that, sacrifice themselves to give you the immortality. And I think that's just rumor, so we don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure that's going to happen at some point. Red herring. So yeah, Kuzan joins the Blackbeard Pirates. Huzzah! I'm still not convinced. If he kills Garp, I will be convinced that he has truly turned to the other side. But if somehow, shape or form, they all get away and Kuzan loses, I assume he will take the fall. Because in any way, shape, or form, Garp does not need this victory. He is already a made man. But Aokiji, if he can get that feather in his cap, if he can put down Garp, the greatest marine who ever lived, no matter what age he is right now, he will be one of the most feared pirates in the world, and almost guaranteed an emperor position when Blackbeard decides to move up to king of the pirates, if they decide to keep the 4 emperors as one thing, you know, as a structure once there's a king of the pirates. I assume he's in line. If his bounty, I want to see, you know, I want to see Aokiji's bounty now. I'd love to see what the government has. It's their mess. This guy left their ranks and is causing chaos. I want to see Aokiji go, not murder people, but go do something very malicious. I guess like stealing pudding counts. I don't know. He froze everybody at Whole Cake Island, or at least that specific island in that area in Totland. So that was pretty brutal. I would love to see what Pudding's up to and what Kuzan said to her and what he said to Kobe in confidence. Is Aokiji secretly part of Sword? I am starting to think no, since most of Sword is there. So much cool shit is happening in One Piece right now, and it just makes my fucking day. I read this chapter with a big old smile on my face during my first break at work, and it just gets me through the second half of my work shift. It just makes me happy to read these things, to see 2 major figures like Kuzan and Garp dueling it out, duking it out. So we get back from the damn flashback of Kuzan joining the Blackbeard Pirates. Kuzan's like trying to attack Garp, freeze him or whatever, and Garp just flexes and breaks out and comes in with a punch, a one punch to Aokiji, and is currently on top and essentially tells him, like, you gotta shoot to win, boy. Don't just play around with your powers. So, like, I think Aokiji isn't going all out. You know, he respects Garp. And I think Garp's coming in with all his power to teach this kid. I mean, he hits the people he loves, let alone people who is causing people damage, like freezing Hibari, for example, doing something he does not like. He's gonna beat your ass. Aokiji could lose the other leg in this battle, but still, if this really goes to a finish, Aokiji needs to win. Aokiji needs that feather in his cap. Does it end up being Garp's death? I don't think so, unless Blackbeard shows up and actually puts in the final blow, or Shiryu is the one to put the blade through his heart behind his back. I can't imagine Kuzan be the one to actually deliver the death blow unless he's being watched by all the Blackbeard pirates. That's the only thing that... I mean, it's not a bad person to take the dive to in Garp. I mean, even Blackbeard would be like, I understand. Z, ha, ha, ha. It's all good. It was Garp. He's really strong. I wouldn't want to fight him. Z, ha, ha. Speaking of Blackbeard, we jump back to the finish. I really hope we get to see more of Trafalgar Law, the Heart Pirates versus the Blackbeard Pirates, because we didn't get to see enough, in my opinion. And the beginning of the fight was so much fun a few chapters ago. So we get to see that Trafalgar Law and the Heart Pirates have been defeated. They look like they could be dead, or they're dying. From Bepo's words, it doesn't seem like they're actually dead yet. Again, Blackbeard is super into taking captives right now, instead of just murdering people in his way. So he might just capture all of the Heart Pirates and just make them work for him as slaves, or just use them as a bartering chip so that Trafalgar Law will give him the immortality surgery. Luckily for Law, and luckily for Bepo, apparently, a scene that did not happen, which would have been so cool if it actually happened at Wano. If we got to see Chopper be an absolute G and give rumble balls, essentially, that's what I'm guessing. He gives them a rumble ball so that, or 2 or 3, whatever, probably 1. He's, improved his science. And, to all the minks, if at least Bepo, because Bepo decides to pop a rumble ball, and apparently, because, Chopper's not a mink. He's a devil fruit using reindeer. The minks have the power of a Sulong transformation, and I've always said that Chopper's, final transformation, his monster point, is kind of like his Sulong transformation. But now it seems confirmed that, in a way, Chopper is a mink, in a way, since he can go into an awakened devil fruit form that essentially is a Sulong transformation. Even though, he can't do it by moon, he can do it with science. But it seems like the same science can affect minks, because Bepo pops some Chopper science and transforms in like 3 panels, becomes a giant polar bear monster Wolverine creature from hell, and just looks badass and vicious, and comes in hot and says, "Keep your paws off of my captain." He grabs Trafalgar Law, even though their submarine has been destroyed. Blackbeard laughs at Trafalgar Law and says, "You're not even a pirate. Zee-ha-ha, without a ship, it's laughable." Bepo, though, thinking quick, transforms, moves faster than he ever has, jumps in the freezing waters, and they just swim away from Winter's Island. Blackbeard may have won the battle, but Law could end up winning the war with help from his boy Luffy. There's a good chance that Bepo and Law will end up wherever Luffy does at some point. They left Sachi and Penguin, though. And Bart. They left them there to possibly die. And in my opinion, Blackbeard needs to do some brutal shit. He needs to start executing some of these people and not just capturing them. That's my personal opinion. Imagine Sachi and Penguin just out, killed off screen. I'd be okay with it. If we found out they were already dead when Trafalgar Law decides to heal up and go save his friends, he didn't want to leave, but Bepo was like, hey, we've been through a lot together. Give your faith to the Heart Pirates. We will rise again. If they die, they die. But Bepo knew that Law is the most important. He is the quarterback. We need to save him, and Bepo is his numero uno, and he is willing to ditch his boys to save their leader. Law still has a lot to do with the story. He's a very popular character. I never thought he was going to die. But even Blackbeard's even like, should I sell your devil fruit? Should I use your devil fruit? Should I give it to somebody I know? Will you make me immortal if I let your friends live? All these things are going through Blackbeard's head. Things that we would think about, and we're like, what is Blackbeard going to do with his devil fruit? Oh, it's just like, this is a thought that he hasn't thought yet because he was dealing with beating his ass, which he did. Burgess, Blackbeard, Doc Q, Von Augur, they beat their ass. The entire Heart Pirates have been defeated. Their crew is essentially donezo. We don't know if Kid's alive, let alone going to continue his journey. Honestly, if Kid is alive and Killer's alive, I just hope they go back home and they just start I don't know, to quote Tekking 101, I hope they just start a bakery. Just start a bakery, live your life, live a peaceful life. You had a good go at it. You could even be a pirate back on the blues. He's from the South Blue, I think he is. Just be a pirate. Be the #1 pirate in the South Blue. You might not even have to deal with the king of the pirates. They're going to be so busy with stuff on the Grand Line. You could own the South Blue, Kid. It might not be the best blue, but it's dangerous, and you could be the captain of it, the leader. You might have to beat some ass, but you're going to be one of the strongest people in the South Blue, buddy. I believe in you, and so does the fandom. He could come back and do something epic, but I don't know. Trafalgar Law, though, he's got something epic left to do. If it's giving Luffy immortal life when he's, giving up everything he has to take down the government, so be it. It could be. Again, who is the Blackbeard pirate headed to Egghead Island? I mean, I have no idea what we're going to do in the next chapter. Maybe it'll be more Kuzan versus Garp. Maybe we'll jump to something else. I would really like to see Kizaru finally land in Egghead Island. I'm ready to see this moment that shakes the world at Egghead Island. I don't know about you. I miss my Straw Hat crew. It's been so many weeks. It's been like a month since we've gotten an update on the Straw Hat crew. There's so much going on right now, but everything is interesting. But I want to see my boys, Zoro and Sanji and Luffy, do something badass. I want to see, and not just fighting Seraphim, or I want to see new Seraphim at least. Something different. I want to see Kizaru prove that the Marines are a threat. He is the first Marine to step up, the first Admiral to step up in the new world. Except, I guess Green Bull did, but he got his ass slapped back down by Shanks, so it didn't really count. But he did go take down Whitebeard's kid, Weevil. So he did do that, which is pretty impressive. But Kizaru needs to come in and whip some ass. Kuzan needs to beat Garp, hands down. Or Garp and them need to just run away and get the fuck out of there. I guess he could just beat the fuck out of all these guys. Very possible. But I just don't see it happening. Garp needs to make the ultimate sacrifice. In some way, shape, or form, Blackbeard could show up last minute and be the one to finish him off. What would you guys think of that? Please comment down below. Let me know. What are your thoughts on this chapter? The last few chapters have been fucking amazing, great, and fantastic. And not even in that order. They're just so good. I'm just so happy we're finally seeing Garp in the best light we've ever seen him. Everyone's always been unsure of how strong Garp actually is, and he's obviously at an Admiral's level. He's taking on one of the strongest Logias in the entire One Piece verse. But can he win? That is what we need answered. I mean, Garp could come in here and beat a couple Blackbeard pirates, but can he beat the best of the best? Is Kuzan secretly part of the government? I don't think so anymore. I think he's doing his own thing. He might not, I don't know what's going on. Is Lafitte going to Egghead Island? Possibly. Could be Lafitte and Karina Devon. We haven't seen her in a hot minute. Please comment down below who you think is going to Egghead Island as part of the who's representing the Blackbeard Pirates at Egghead Island. Please comment down below. Give them a shout out. Give them a hashtaggy. And don't forget to subscribe to more Fanime. I'll talk to you later.
You gon' step on my ship, you gon' mess with the king.